The Wildhorse 7 after 300 kilometers. So welcome to the channel. Today is going to be a kind of an in-depth video all about the Wildhorse 7. As I've just said, I've done nearly 300 kilometers in the shoe. It's working really, really well for many different things, and actually it probably is going to be the shoe of 2021 for me. I didn't really use the Wildhorse 6 that much, so I didn't really give it probably the time it deserved, but I have just thoroughly enjoyed every step in that shoe from day one till now, and it still feels great. It still feels really good. So I think where the secret lies, and I think most people will agree with me, and you've heard this here before many times with Seth James Damore,
but it's the padding on top of the tongue.
with Ryan Clayton,
tongue is amazing with this big kind of like pillow padding right here,
and even me. Nicer sort of slipper feel and a nice, more comfortable fit. All saying this comfort of the upper, the tongue, the padding, that slipper-like feel is just great. Your foot just sits in there, and I think Ryan Clayton, he also said it really well, and when he sort of said it's like that sort of Back to the Future sort of feel where it goes and it just sucks to your foot and it just feels really comfortable. And that word slipper has been thrown around a lot, but it does have that nice slipper-like feel. So the upper, that's probably where the magic lies. And then secondly, for me, it's that midsole. It's that React midsole in here, which I think personally works the best out of all the night trail shoes. I find the Pegasus a little bit too soft and mushy. The Terra Kyger probably maybe a little bit too hard, and the longevity isn't great. But this one here, this midsole, it still is bouncy and resilient and is pop back and energy returning, and as it was on day one to now. Thirdly, I'm really pleased with the fact that this shoe is actually wide. I've measured against the Timp insole with the insole of the Wildhorse, and it comes up. The widest point on the Timp insole is 10 centimeters across. That's the broadest point. Whereas here, the widest point is definitely about 10.6. So there's an extra 6 millimeters across in width. So the width, the fact that it's competing in width for against Altra shoes is great, and it doesn't restrict, the toes aren't restricting as well, so it doesn't taper in too much. So the width, the toe box, it just all works really, really well. So there we have it. So that's the three main plus points: the comfort of the upper, midsole, and the fact that it's wide and accommodating. Another key aspect is durability. This is about 300 kilometers into it, and there isn't hardly any tears or wears. The overlays are still intact. There's not any pulling here. It's all everything is pretty good actually. And the tread is actually still looking pretty decent, and I've used this a lot on road too. So I would say the durability and the longevity of this shoe is really good. And actually price too. I've got for about £105 now. In fact, you can get this shoe less for even about £80. So the price point is really, really good. Down points, there are some. It's not all, we're not all smelling the roses here with this one here. It's not the lightest shoe. It is pretty hefty. It's quite a heavy shoe. In fact, I'll just weigh this one right now. This shoe here, we got a bit of dirt on there as well. 343 grams. Unfortunately, it doesn't drain very well either. So I did my race around the Isle of Wight, 108 kilometers. It got very wet to begin with, and unfortunately, my foot then got very wet. It did not drain very well. And then I had a bit of problem with some sort of trench foot, but that's a different story. So drainage isn't great. When it does get wet, obviously it gets even heavier and it doesn't dry out very quickly. So yeah, so that is an issue. And again, it's not the lightest, most nimble shoe, but that said, it is stable enough for me. I don't personally mind that rounded heel at the back. Some people do, but I find that works okay. So along with weight, the tread isn't fantastic. It's not the grippiest of treads. There are better ones out there. So there we have it. So that's my 300 kilometer review of the Nike Wildhorse 7. I am very impressed. So much so that, I might even buy another 7, because they've got the formula right. It's working. The upper, the midsole, okay, it can maybe do with shaving a few pounds here and there. Maybe some drainage could be better, but those things are, you know, they're not the end of the world. The comfort, the feel, the fit, it all works really, really well. The wide forefoot, the accommodation, the toe box. Oh, and also one more thing is actually the ground feel. Although there's a good stack in that shoe, there's still some good ground feel. You still have the ability to feel the ground, and you're not sort of feeling like you're on top of the midsole. You sort of sit into it nicely, so you get to feel the ground underneath you, which is also a really nice feeling. And there we have it, so that's it. So thanks very much for watching. Hope that helps. I would advise anyone to go and buy that shoe because you can pick them up for less than £80 now probably. Maybe not in all the colorways, and there's a new colorway out. It's quite a funky orange, which I might have to go and purchase. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope that helped. And if you haven't already, please do click that like and subscribe button because